Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Patched.
Welcome back.
Yes, and today we're going to be reviewing the Coolermaster MM711 or the Coolermaster Master Mouse 711.
I am excited.
If you guys haven't checked out our MM710 review, you guys should go check it out. But basically, we didn't really like it too much because of the build quality issues. But it was a great overall mouse. But the build quality was the breaking point where we couldn't recommend it, you know? So the MM711, apparently they fixed all those issues, and it's going for $60, which is $10 more expensive than the 710, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But if you guys do want to get it, we'll leave a link in the description box. But yeah, let's get it started off with the shape, and the shape is pretty much exactly the same. You have a very sharp drop off here on the back of the mouse. And if you want to palm grip it, you basically have to go like this. Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you do that, it creates a whole bunch of space in between the mouse and, I guess, your knuckles here. For me, personally, it's not very comfortable to palm grip.
I absolutely love the shape. I have larger
palm
hands. I don't know why it's comfortable for me, but I can palm grip it.
Really?
And I can fingertip it.
Really?
For me, I love fingertipping this mouse, but...
Fingertipping it's great because of that sharp drop off, and since it's a pretty short mouse, also when you're flicking down or tracking down, the bottom of the mouse doesn't really hit the bottom of your palm. You're weird. I don't know how you palm grip this, but okay.
Oh, just like this.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Just put my hand on it, you know?
Alright. So yeah, I mean, if you love, I guess the original S2 shape, you'll love the shape of the MM711 and the 710. Also, another thing that's very different from the mice that I use, like the FK2 and the Viper, it's a little bit wider than those. So it's a little bit harder for me to actually grip. You know, I have to kind of spread up my fingers out a little bit more. And I don't know if it's uncomfortable for me. I don't like it too much because I'm just used to having a narrow grip. But obviously you can get used to it, but I don't really like the wider grip on it. Alright, as far as the dimensions go for this mouse, it's 116.5 millimeters long, which is very short, 62.4 millimeters wide, and 38.3 millimeters at the arch.
Yeah, so it's super low profile. The depth of the arch is not that large. Mm-hmm. So as far as I feel like that's what really stands out about this mouse. And I mean, the arch has that really steep drop off there, so I feel like that's what makes it so comfortable for fingertip grip.
Alright, moving on to the cord, they're using their flex weave cable, and it's incredible.
Feels good.
Very nice. Super easy to just bend, so you're really not going to notice the cable when you're playing, so the mouse basically feels wireless. As far as the glides go, you have PTFE feet. You have one on top and two on the bottom. Very smooth glide. Very easy to just push the mouse across the entire mouse pad. Very smooth.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I noticed is that they're rounded around the outside. Usually they're rounded off towards the edge, right? But sort of almost towards the middle a little bit, they're rounded off.
Yes.
Which I think provides a smoother glide because it's less surface area that it's gliding on. So that's an interesting thing that they did there. Just a little side note that they sort of seem to add in there.
Alright, as far as the weight goes, it says on the box that it's 60 grams, so we're going to check if it's correct.
And the previous one was advertised as 53, right?
Yes. I was saying 61 grams, so they lied to us. 1 gram, I want my money back. No, we're just kidding. So 60 grams is very light, and one way they achieve that very light weight is through putting a lot of holes in the mouse. You know, there's holes on the side, there's holes on top, and there's holes on the bottom. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty weird aesthetic. I mean, a lot of mice companies are doing this. One thing I do like about the holes is that it's basically the same shape as their logo, which is kind of cool.
We see what you did there.
Yeah. And then now moving on to the buttons. So, I mean, I guess we'll tie the build quality in with this as well. The buttons do wobble. You know, it has the same amount of wobble, but it's very hard to notice while you're playing with it.
Yeah, and there's a lot less side play, I feel like, than the last version as well.
It's weird because when I was playing with the 710, I noticed it a lot, but with the 711 and also the 710, the glossy version, I don't really notice it as much, which is interesting. But they didn't really fix the sidewall. You know, you can still press the side buttons through the actual sidewalls. Look, which kind of sucks. But if you're actually playing with it, you're not able to actually press it like this. So it's not a huge deal either. We're just being very nitpicky, I guess, at this point. And there's really no flex or anything on the actual mouse, anywhere on the mouse. So build quality seems to be improved as well. But yeah, so as far as the overall click goes, it's a very satisfying click. It doesn't feel mushy or anything. It's very tactile. There's not a lot of post-travel or pre-travel. So I like the mouse 1 and 2 buttons. The side buttons are pretty small though. So you like to have really big side buttons, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't mind these because I'm used to I've used the G Pro Wireless forever, and the side buttons on that thing they are tiny.
Yes.
So on this, I don't mind it, and they protrude out enough to where it's not really an issue for me. So yeah, side buttons are great, and I mean, I feel like it's a large improvement as far as the mouse 1 and 2 side buttons.
The
scroll wheel's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's like, it reminds me a lot of the Model O. It's kind of mushy. It rolls over the clicks a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit mushier. It's not as precise, and there's not as many, like, defined steps as we're used to.
Yes. Yeah, so I guess the buttons are an improvement. Also, obviously, this is the glossy white version of the mouse, and I love this glossy finish. It is a fingerprint magnet, but it's actually really hard to see with this white.
Yeah, with the white version?
Yeah, like you can't really see it. So I feel like this is a clean colorway. And just aesthetics, I mean, obviously aesthetics don't really matter, but this is a great looking mouse. Look at that, that's sick, you know?
Yeah.
And they added RGB, which is really cool. So there's RGB here on the bottom of the mouse and also on the scroll wheel. And I just kept it purple because I actually kind of like matching with their logo, but...
That's the thing. I feel like, blending this mouse and adding RGB in there, they didn't just add lights inside. There's actually like a panel that's inside of there that's mostly at the back but goes around to the sides a little bit. And it's bright. That's one of the great things about having a white mouse. So if you get the white version of this, you're going to really see that glow. So it really pops. Not that it's all that important, but obviously you'll hit more headshots if your RGB looks better. So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, as far as the software goes, I mean, it's what you'd expect. It's the same software we reviewed in the MM710. Easy to reprogram buttons. It's fairly easy to change your DPI and everything, which brings me to the point they're using their 16,000 DPI optical sensor. So
wow,
same thing as the last one. I'm not gonna ever get up to 16,000 DPI. I
Who
never
does
go
that?
above 800.
Who does that? Yeah. That's crazy. So overall, I enjoyed the mouse. A few things I don't like about it is I don't like how wide this mouse is, but obviously that's just personal preference. And the shape is, I mean, it's okay. I'm mostly fingertip, but I would prefer, I guess, like not as sharp of a drop off. But that's just me. You enjoyed it?
I love it. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a huge upgrade, and I think it's worth the money, worth every penny of it. And I think the finish is nice. Aesthetically, it looks amazing. You get RGB this time around. The buttons are a lot better. I think it's a great mouse. I would personally buy this.
I would call this the Panda color or the Stormtrooper color. That's kind of, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, right?
You're right.
But yeah, so that's our review. If you guys want to cop, we'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next one.
See you in the next one.